Hey besties! In today's video, I will be discussing and calling out EA's poor excuse for diversity and how they have been repeatedly dropping the ball on bringing more Black representation to The Sims 4. Recently, there was an Inside Maxis Livestream where we were informed about a few upcoming things for The Sims 4. A big win for the Sims community was the preview of what customizable pronouns might look like and how they would be implemented into the game. The part that upset me and others in the community was the bit about moving the braided pony hair from the expansion pack Discover University pictured here to the base game through the Sims Delivery Express. Moving a piece of content from paid DLC to the base game does not make it a new piece of content, and it certainly does not add to diversity. Look at what happened with the 20th anniversary gift of a hot tub, something from a previous paid DLC that caused outrage amongst the Sims community. Moving content from paid DLCs to the base game upsets some of the people that paid full price for the DLC previously, and it makes EA look lazy and like they do not care enough to make a new piece of content for their community. With base game and all DLC installed, The Sims 4 has a lot of hair options. These options are significantly less when you filter to afro-textured hair regardless of feminine or masculine preference. According to @SimsHive on Twitter, only 22% of hair in The Sims 4 is afro-textured. This is really unacceptable for a game that is almost 10 years old, and with so many DLCs to only amount to not even a third of the overall hair in the game being textured. As a Black Simmer that sims on PC, I have always downloaded custom content to fill in where official content was lacking. Custom content should be utilized for things like new sweater swatches or different kinds of tables. Custom content should not be the only way that I can represent myself in the game that I love. @RealKatato on Twitter, who is the creator of the preteen mod, seems to agree. She says, "Why are people annoyed that Black Simmers want representation? Through all the years I've played The Sims 2, 3, and 4, I've never been able to make a Sim self without using custom content. Do y'all understand how much that sucks?" She continues by adding, quote, "Just download CC, unquote. Bro, the majority of CC hair that are afro-textured are alpha. I just want Maxis match hair. Wouldn't it be perfect if I could get it from the actual game?" Frowny face. This most recent issue is only one of many when it comes to Black representation in The Sims 4. Look at how long it took to get updated skin tones when Black Simmers were complaining about them for years, and even making custom content that gave us a bigger variety of Black and brown skin tones to choose from. Think of X Mira and her skin pack. We only got updated skin tones when white Simmers with big platforms like Lil Simsy and Plumbella amplified Black voices to create some change. I love those creators, but it is incredibly problematic that just Black voices alone were not enough to create that change from EA. We recently got some hair swatch updates, but the Black color still doesn't look Black on darker skin tones. Lots of Simmers, especially Black Simmers, are upset about the continuous disrespect and lack of representation and have taken to Twitter to express their frustrations. @Katie Trina on Twitter says, "If EA is too lazy to put the resources into it, I don't understand why they aren't collaborating with more CC creators to bring their items officially to the game. There are really nice Maxis Match afro hairs, and pay the creators to improve the base game." @ForeverLorizi says, "I want to make a whole Black Sims Maxis Match save. Even with custom content, this is not possible to do without reusing the same hairs over and over. That is not okay." @RedAlpha23Sims says, "We need more original and new afro-textured hairstyles in The Sims 4. I will die on this hill, and I do not care how y'all feel about it." @SimsHive agrees and says, "Right, and if they somehow have problems with referencing and creating them, then hello, there are so many amazing Black Simmers and creators in this community that would definitely be able to help them." ElizzyBabs1 says, "There is a severe lack of option when you're a Black person playing The Sims. The skin tones are bad, and the number of hairstyles in game does not reflect the number of hairstyles Afro hair can achieve as the game does for non-Black Simmers. So yes, we expect more, rightfully so." @Durana on Twitter says, "The worst thing is that the Black swatch looks gray or blue on darker Sims. So many hairstyles cannot be used with darker Sims. Thankfully, there is a mod that fixes that, but if EA cares so much about diversity, they should really fix the dark hair color." Some people in the Sims community are sort of missing the points brought up by the Black simmers and are generalizing our complaints to discuss the issue of all representation. Of course, we as Black simmers are all for more representation for all populations that are also not being properly represented in The Sims currently. However, this particular conversation is centered on Black people and Black hair in particular not receiving the attention and representation it so desperately needs. The retort of, quote, just download CC, unquote, is not giving what you think it is. EA should not rely on creators to provide quality Black hair options, because not only is it lazy and offensive that Black hair isn't a big part of the official game, but console players do not have access to custom content, and Black console players deserve to see themselves represented in the game as well. At Red Alpha 23 Sims agrees and says, I don't get why people assume that when Black people talk about wanting more Afrocentric and Afro-textured hairstyles in game, they think we don't want diversity for other cultures. If anything, we agree that there should be more diversity for those cultures. So, a suggestion for EA to consider. February is Black History Month, and it would be really nice to include some new, keyword new, Black hairstyles in the Sims delivery service. They could partner with the many custom content creators, especially the Black custom content creators that make amazing content that they could deliver in-game for everyone to enjoy, and it would actually help them uphold their goal of diversity by creating new hairs and not just rearranging the Black hairs that are already in-game and calling that diversity. The most important point that I think that everyone should take from this is that everyone should be able to see themselves in this game without downloading add-ons being a necessity. As you can see here, I used CC from a bunch of different creators, and it helped me make such diverse and realistic looking Sims that look like me or people that I know or family members of mine. It's so important for people to be able to see themselves and recreate themselves in this game that's supposed to be a life simulation. And by not creating Black content, it's sort of implying that like we're not important. And I really don't think that that's the message that EA wants to give or push. So it really shouldn't be overlooked, and it's a really important thing that I think a lot of Black simmers could agree on. And it shouldn't take white simmers with big platforms to have to speak for us when we are speaking for ourselves, but we just are never taken seriously. And I think it could really be a big step for EA if they can just listen to us complaining for us rather than necessarily relying on white simmers to talk for us. Thanks for listening to my rant about things that I really care about in the Sims community. Please remember to like, subscribe, comment, tell me if you agree, disagree, what other thoughts that you have about this issue, and yeah, come back and watch another one.